So some of the main foods that you eat, what sort of things would they be? Besides
Um,
tofu, obviously, because that's all vegans eat.
yeah, look, I love tofu, but I love tofu. So, yeah, I do have it a lot because I just love it and it's easy. And there's lots of really great tofu in Australia, especially, I guess, easy to buy in the supermarkets or at Vegan Choice and stuff like that, that you can pop into food and it's easy to do a stir fry quite quickly. And I do love just getting some fresh vegetables, chucking in some tofu, putting in some fresh garlic and ginger and stir frying it up, and that's fantastic. I am a little bit reliant on microwave brown rice because I love my brown rice and it's less full of awful other things and mostly just brown rice and brown rice oil. So particularly because we train quite late and things like that, I find that quite handy because then I've got brown rice and a nice stir fry pretty quickly. Um, I don't know what else do I have.
Are you a fan of tempeh?
Oh, I love tempeh. It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, and again in Australia, there's some really good, easy to buy at the supermarkets tempeh. I have that easy overseas to get tempeh, but in Australia it's a lot, so I do have it a lot because I really like it. Um, and I like falafels and stuff and things like that, but I probably don't have them as often because I probably save them a bit more for if we're out with the team, and that's a easier food to get from a Lebanese restaurant or something.
Mm.
Um, what else? I like lentils and I like curries. Um, you got me thinking about tofu, and it's hard to think about anything
Yeah.
else.
Stand.
I'll think on it. Yeah, I like a great variety of food, so I'm not super. Yeah, can't think of anything else that I said tofu. Lentil and vegetable soups. I have a few of those quite often. And fries, do vegetarian stuff in Australia. I don't have them too often, but they're nice for a change of something to have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there any particular, do you keep track of any vitamins, minerals intake, or you're like, okay, I got vegetables, got protein, yeah, I'm covered,
Yeah,
or?
I do try to get as much as I can from the food I'm eating, but I do take B12, and when I travel and stuff, I take B12 and some iron and calcium and things like that, because you can never quite tell whether it's going to be a good trip and the food will be fine or there'll be not very much, and I want to just make sure I've got enough of stuff. So I do sort of make sure I've got some stuff with me, and yeah, but I try, particularly when I'm at home and stuff, to make sure I'm just having nutritious food and get everything I can from that. Yeah.
Cool. I saw some of your tweets where you posted pics of some of the meals you had, and they didn't look too bad. So just tell us a bit about how well you were catered for in London.
Um, Yeah, look, London was pretty amazing. It was the first time at a Paralympics that vegan food was specifically marked out in the food hall, so that was fantastic. Um, so at previous games like Beijing and Athens, I'd find vegetarian food and then find out whether they had like dairy symbols and stuff on them as well and things like that. But it was a bit tougher and it was a bit of a trying to find people to ask about food. So London was a lot better in that respect. They still didn't always get it right, but I think luckily enough, most food you could just tell whether it was vegan or not, or like, for instance, I think about the corn and whether that was vegan or not in England because it's not in Australia and they had it marked as vegan. So little things like that, you couldn't quite, just I guess use common sense as to whether to eat it or not. But on the whole, it was fantastic. There was a great variety of food. There was some grilled tofu, which was my favourite. But they also had lots of dals and curries, and I mainly lived in the Asian, Indian and African Caribbean sections. I have to admit the others didn't give me a great deal to choose from, apart from maybe getting a few steamed vegetables from, but it was still pretty great, and I could get a good variety of food for the whole time I was there, so that was very nice. Yeah.
So it didn't interrupt. You still felt healthy while you were there. It didn't really
Yeah, definitely. And like it is something like sometimes when you're away, you feel like, oh, maybe I'm just not getting enough of the right food or something. But no, London was very well catered for.
Is there any sort of cheat meals that you like to have?
Look, I must admit, I don't have a lot. Those All Pro desserts are actually quite a big treat for me. I don't do that very often. I because I do love fresh fruit and stuff. So having a mango or things like that is an absolute treat to me, and I love it. So in summer I'll have like a mango or a peach or apricots or something after every meal because I just love them. And that's
Do you use any supplements with your diet?
well, training and stuff. I do take B12 and I'll take a vegan iron and calcium and stuff with me, because it just sometimes it depends on the food we get. So sometimes it's really not very nutritious. So I just want to make sure I've got, everything going okay. So yeah.
Yeah. So you don't take a protein powder?
No. I've Nature's Own or something like that do just a plain soy milk powder that make up as a drink for after training and stuff like that. But since I found the protein bars, they're just a lot more convenient. I haven't done that as much. But yeah, sometimes I do, but I don't travel with it just because it's not always that easy to go through customs with things of powder and things like that. So bars seem to be easier for them to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.